All right. Speaking of scams, let's watch Montoya's reaction to the Anvil Paladin. He's my favorite ship enjoyer. I love watching these. Let me just remove this for a moment. Look at that face. There's a new ship here, baby. Look at how happy he is. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Anvil Paladin, $260 worth of new heavy gunship, or $300 with store credit if you have that. Is this worth your wallet? Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. I
Ladies
wonder.
and gents, welcome back to the channel. I am Montoya. Okay, new concept ship out today. It is the Anvil Aerospace Paladin Heavy Barrage Gunship. Is this something you need? I'm glad I took the time to make this video later today, because the first thing in the morning when I checked about this, I looked at the ship and the side guns were controlled by the gunner and not the pilot, which is what I understood. So this initially was...
And apparently they never were, but it was unclear in the description, correct? Isn't that what happened? And I think I missed something as well. How many guns does the pilot have access to on the Redeemer? It's more guns than this pilot, right? 2 size 4, 2 size 3. So it's the same, except these are 4 size 4s. 4 in total, 2 times 2. It's 4 without any co-pilot. I'm asking, I'm the pilot in the Redeemer, not this ship. How many guns in the Redeemer? It's competitor. I'm in the pilot seat. I click my left click button. How many guns am I firing maximum? A total of 4, but it's a combination of size 4s and size 3s. This ship is 4 size 4s, correct? If you're solo pilot. So that's already a step up. The ship costs less than the Redeemer, which breaks CCU chains, but is cheaper for store credit.
No, I'm not interested in flying a ship where the
Connie still wins with 4 size 5s. True.
Pilot doesn't actually get to do anything, just fly the ship, unless it's a big, corvette-sized or cap ship. But for smaller ships, no, I absolutely want control over some weapons, and it said nothing about that. But as the day went...
I agree with them there. Like, let's be honest here. In a ship of this size, I'm with him 100% here. In a ship of this size, is it ever okay for the pilot to only fly? And that's it. I feel like that role is so boring. The mole is like that. Right? The mole's like that. I feel like the mole pilot should probably just have access to mining laser or something. No way, yeah. Not for a ship of this size, but for a ship bigger than that, like slightly bigger than this, sure. Certainly the Polaris and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm going to agree with him there.
Went on, and people were questioning it. This was changed and updated, and now it says when operating with a smaller crew, the pilot can take direct control over the wing turrets, and those wing turrets are size 4s, so you have 4 size 4 guns, and that is not bad. That is decent DPS if you are flying it alone. Now, CIG doesn't want you to fly the ship alone. They want you to fly with friends, which is why there's a massive size 5 quad turret on top there, which will...
The Redeemer used to have one of those, right?
Immensely improve the DPS of this ship. So let's go down the brochure here and take a look. First of all, ironclad owners rejoice. Here's another picture of it, although it's been shot at.
Wait, why would they rejoice? This thing is literally being built to destroy them.
It's okay. We love to see it. I still have not gotten one. I'm thinking of buying this.
Yeah, it had 2 size 5s. This thing has 4 size 5s. They didn't even put the 2 size 5s on top. They put 4 size 5s.
DCU because I just know that's going to be an awesome ship. But anyway, here's the Paladin shooting the Ironclad, which is blasphemy, but okay, we get the idea. You shoot at things, right? Taking a look at what the cockpit's going to be like, it's got that stacked cockpit layout there, which is...
This game is a scam? True.
I mean, not bad. I mean, you've got your pilot, your co-pilot, and the gunners. Everyone has a view of what's in front of them. That is...
Redeemer had 4 size 5s split into 2 turrets. Then it didn't have 4 size 5s, right? Like in the same way that this does. So I think it's still comparable to make the joke of the situation that this is a little bit.
It's not bad at all. It's nice. I like it. And taking a look more about the ship here. So first of all, it's fitting a lot. As we've seen with the newer ships, they're taking a lot of care into making the interior really something good. The Zeus, I think, is a wonderful example of maximizing your interior space.
The Zeus is literally one of the worst cargo holds I've ever seen, but outside of that, it is a decent interior, but I don't think the interior just artistically looked good, but I would agree with them with the way they use the space.
And if this is the trend which the ships are going, which it looks like it is, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, Montoya, I would just say the trend is they're just getting better. If we look at the Starfarer, the first ship with an interior, to where we are now, every ship has gotten better.
Happy about that. So all the action in this ship takes place in this space over here. The back part here, or just the nacelles or whatever these are, is just empty space. All the action is taking place in this one pretty small space.
People are arguing that the Redeemer will be more maneuverable than this. I think that's probably one of the legitimate questions that need to come out of the Q&A for this ship, is pit this against the Redeemer. Tell me what the differences are. And if the Redeemer's a bit more maneuverable with those big old hair straightener engines, then that would make some sense to me. Is a little bit of reduced firepower, but a little bit more maneuverable. But in the end, are gunships ever really agile and maneuverable? Are these meant to dogfight each other? Like, what's the role of a gunship in the first place? And then what does a little bit more maneuverability do for a Redeemer versus a Paladin if they are trying to take out a capital ship, right? These would be your brawlers to take out capital ships. Remember when I asked that question on Week in Review, what is a brawler? I feel like a brawler is a Redeemer or a Paladin. Looks heavily armored, lots of weapons, high DPS, can probably take a few hits.
So cockpit with blast shields over here. Now we've seen the Carrack already demonstrate the blast shields, which is very cool. Wing has dual S4 turrets, as we've covered, and that monster Quad 5 on top over there. Moving on to a shot of the interior. Now this is what sells me on it. I think this...
I don't find myself always agreeing with a lot of things Montoya says, right? Because he's an enjoyer more than I am. But the thing that sells me on all ships are interiors. I won't be buying this ship, obviously, but the interior, it looks like a very good use of space.
Speaks to a lot of people. I know it speaks to me. My initial feeling when I saw this is I'm thinking Star Trek, the Defiant, right? A small little tough ship. What ship are you calling small? Says Worf. You got the reference, right? Yes, you did. I know you did. So looking at the top, starting from the front, from the cockpit, you walk out the cockpit. There's a little ramp. You see a ladder which takes you down to lower levels. But don't worry. It's not going to be a boring, very slow ladder animation, because if you just go through the doors, there's stairs right over there. And
Hell
that
yeah.
is awesome.
Stairs
I
in a
hate
ship.
being pushed into animations like ladders. I know it's not a big deal, but guaranteed 9
Montoya loves every ship. I feel like I've watched a video where he didn't enjoy one.
out of 10 times, I will take these stairs to the lower levels. We see the mess over there. I don't know what this area is here.
It's a toilet, man. There it is.
But going up, is that a bunk? I'm assuming these are maybe captain quarters. Moving to the side over here where number 5 is, we see some more bunk beds. That's the crew. And on top of that is, I'm hoping there's going to be some cargo grids.
Does he buy every JPEG? No, I'm not convinced he buys everything, but he could still, without buying it, you could say what you like about it. right?
Mention of cargo space at all, but if they do toss in something eventually, maybe. I
think every ship has to be able to hold some cargo space, just because we have heard them say that they want to do reload animations or reloads for guns with actual canisters of some kind from the internals of the ship. This is a gunship. I can only imagine that would be happening on a gunship, like lots of ballistics and just, I need a reload. All right, boom, that kind of thing.
I think the ship is designed for anything cargo related at all, but sometimes you need a cargo spot. So if maybe this is something for cargo eventually, that would be good. Moving on.
Somebody's saying, yeah, the Redeemer would take out a Hammerhead 1v1, which was not acceptable. Redeemer was definitely overtuned. Nobody is saying that there's a problem with nerfing the Redeemer. It's when you nerf the Redeemer and then you draw a picture of a ship that is the old Redeemer.
At the lower level.
That's what people are arguing.
I guess your gunner engineer, whoever wants to sit down there, same thing. You go through the little ramp. Here's the ladder to go up, but also the stairs over there. Lots of space in here, which is empty while it's pathways through. You can see the scale of a person over there.
I like the
suit
internals,
lockers over here, and stairs which allow you to exit the ship from the side. I love it. I love this interior. I haven't really seen what it's going to look like, but from what this plan is here, it is
it looks
definitely
cool.
Nice. I like it a lot. Some more glamour shots over here. Let's see. We've seen again. So I mean,
True,
all the action takes place in this space. It's a small, compact design.
I feel there's got to be a docking collar somewhere. No,
speaks to me, but I can guess that the handling of this is going to be like a brick because of this heavy firepower. You have a pilot and co-pilot in here. You dishing out massive DPS, so this thing is going to fly like a brick.
How's the Valkyrie?
But that's fine. I think it balances out. Next picture, we see those big size 5 turret that can swing around from the top, point backwards, and also point underneath. This is a beautiful feature. I think being able to have that kind of coverage like the Scorpius is very, very appealing. Moving on, next shot. This is the Ironclad being shot at. We don't want to see that. Let's not speak about that picture ever again.
Agreed.
And the one we saw, and the cockpit one we saw. Moving down here, we have the Shadowfall paint. So,
best paint I've seen. The Shadowfall.
Standard comes like that, but if you are a Chairman's Club, you have access to a darker paint, which is that.
Listen, I don't want this ship. Also, this thing looks like a Scorpius in this image to me. It looks like a Scorpius.
If I get this ship, yes, I will have to get the paint too. I just love the dark colors, but that does look very sexy.
That's why I watch these videos, dude. I can't. He never fails to deliver. He never fails to deliver it.
That does look very sexy. That is a sexy ship. Length 53, width 38. On the topic of size, I saw a nice post over here by NN312 from Reddit comparing the Paladin to the Redeemer, its closest
Oh, okay. It's a wide boy
competitor, and lengthwise the same, but so much more space on the sides of the Paladin. More surprising is this.
No. That's not surprising
Paladin
at all.
versus C1 just for size, really squeezing in a lot more in a shorter space. Keeping in mind, this is all cargo space on the C1. And
do we have the height? I mean, all the stuff is stored in the other view.
And it's very much shorter, but packs a lot more inside the space. I think this is a great image comparing it. It's just a lot chunkier than Redeemer. Mm-hmm. Redeemer is going to be more maneuverable. When they start balancing out properly, I think we see a lot more maneuverability in the Redeemer. Paladin's going to fly like a brick. But again, you have...
But they both should fly like a brick, right? They both should.
A lot of...
So how... Yeah, and then the going to. But he's saying I assume, like he's putting it in there that I assume. He's not saying he knows something you don't know.
Space in there. 1 pilot, 3 gunners, 1 remote S5, 2 remote S4s, and 6.
Didn't they go super hard on like shield components and stuff on this thing too?
6 size 4 missile racks. It is as the title says.
It's just like better shields.
Price at $260, not cheap, but look, it's for what you're getting.
What's Redeemer? 2 or 3 size 2s, and then this is a size 3, or does Redeemer have a size 3? Redeemer has 6X size 2s. Huh? Yeah? What? Yeah, let's look at this. Oh, is this just image? That's cool. Do we have like component stuff? I thought the comparables were component wise. I'm sorry if I'm fighting this with a combat ship, they're pretty similar in size, and you'll be able to knock off the Redeemer's engines easier, and this one you won't. What if you guys go to Urkel, what do we think that the shield capabilities would be of a Paladin versus a Redeemer? I wonder. Right? You're curious where they're going to fit them? I don't know. There's not a lot of room in there.
I think it's not bad. I know people watching this video who may not be familiar with Star Citizen are shocked, but these are the prices, and some people pay it. But if you have store credit, $300, that's not the cheapest.
No, it's... Well, I wonder if he's going to state the obvious here.
But for what this ship will do, the DPS it puts out, I think it's in line.
All right, here we go. An FR86, which is a size 3, has 56,100 shield health. The Redeemer, for 6 size 2s, has 30,600 for now as we speak. Obviously, all subject to change. But they made these decisions with this information in mind. Tankier and more shield health. Okay. What we don't know is what having many different shields means. If you take out one, you still have the others. So as far as engineering goes, we don't know the implications of having 6 shields versus only 2, right? If you get in there and you actually damage the component quite quickly, that's it. Their shields are down, right? So we'll see. The Redeemer also takes a metric, a butt ton of power pips to even fully power the shields. Okay. That could be a balance thing that would be fixed as well. So we'll see. But I think Montoya's on the right track here. And everybody that I saw typing about it in chat is, if you are going to differentiate these ships, it would be the flight capabilities, but it doesn't matter. And we're going to see if he gets to why it doesn't matter.
Line. It's not bad at all. Speaking of the damage it puts out, punching into the DPS calculator just to get an idea, looking at something like the F8C, which does 2,450 DPS as a medium fighter. I was more curious to know how this will possibly match up with, say, a Constellation Andromeda. Now, okay, I've been guilty in the past, and so have you, of grabbing a bigger ship, flying it solo to help out a buddy or just to shoot something quickly. And
nothing wrong with that.
5 size 5s, the stock set up on this.
I just want to point out, there is nothing wrong with flying a multi-crew ship solo. Just don't complain when the ship is better significantly when you crew it. That's it. Stop complaining about it. Stop complaining when they want to make multi-crew ships multi-crew.
Anyway, on the Constellation Andromeda comes to 1,896 DPS. So we can kind of guesstimate that's what the turret on the Paladin's going to come in at. But also, if we take a look at something like the Redeemer, 872 DPS, this is stock, but a whopping 6,732 DPS with your friends manning the turrets. I imagine we fall somewhere around that. Initially, for me, I said no, but because the pilot can control the dual size 4s on each side, I say yes, not bad at all. And
did he also put comparable guns on them, or did he leave the ballistic weapons on the Redeemer? Oh, God. Come on, Montoya.
You definitely do need the black paint, so I would give this...
you definitely need the black paint. What if they're not concierge? What do they do?
Thumbs up. Montoya approved. $260 isn't cheap, but I think this ship will give you years of fun for you and your crew of 3 friends. Definitely. So let's wrap it up here. If you like my...
All right, so he missed the very obvious thing. We're at the stage in Star Citizen's development where we don't know whether or not the ships that we're buying are even going to come out when the game comes out. This ship is probably not going to release with 1.0. If they're telling us ships that we bought many years ago are not going to release with 1.0, it would almost be a slap in the face if this ship does not release, if this ship releases after or before 1.0, because then it would be a slap in the face of people who've, actually spent time and money in the game before this thing came out. So obviously, if you buy this, you'll get a Redeemer as a loaner. So it's honestly a way to get a cheaper Redeemer, I think. So yeah, there's that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I like the way it looks. I like how much firepower it has. I love the interior, but I don't like the precedent that it is setting, and they have been setting forever, right? That's kind of the problem here. Is they're setting that precedent more and more and more every day. This power creepy kind of thing that they do, and you're just like, will it ever stop? And I think we know the answer to that question, and I'll just say it: no. It's only going to get worse.